Hello, YouTube. Alright, it's Father's Day. I'm here with one of my sons.
Hi.
Raven. And we're setting up the barbecue grill. Do a little barbecuing, kind of like a bunch of other dads out there. But one of our projects we got is a wind turbine. We've been working on for a little bit, not a long time, but a little while. It's part of our prepping to get some of this stuff done. And here it is. Flanged on, welded onto a pipe. We got a friend of ours to put the anchors on it. Never can seem to tell how to turn this around. And now what we're down to is converting this to hold the pole so we can put it on top of the war wagon. Okay, the problem is that Raven, how many stores we have to go to yesterday to find a set screw to put in there to hold that pole in place?
3.
In 2 states, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, no doubt. But basically, kind of like everybody else is discovering out there, we're running out of everything in the area that we need. It's not that we're out of everything. It's that we're running out of what? Breads one time, milks the next,
milk,
screws, bolts.
Screws.
I mean, it depends
Liquids.
on liquids, water, sodas. I mean, it depends on where you're at, what we can get our hands on. Depending on, like, our average grocery day, because we try to make them once or twice a month. I don't like going to town for nothing more than that than I have to, but seems like I'm there every day 2-3 times. We wind up going, what, 3 states? Probably 7 stores?
Yeah.
And still can't always find what we need. Oklahoma has some. Joplin, Missouri area has more. Webb City, Carthage. And then we wind up here in Kansas. And everywhere from Baxter Springs, Pittsburgh to Fort Scott, depending on what you need, depends on who or where you got to go to find it. And that's where things are getting a little stupid, especially with the price of fuel. Buddy just got his diesel truck back running after 6 months. Finally got his part in. Us, we're still looking for parts on certain stuff to make things work. So, I don't know. It's kind of gotten a little crazy out there. Bubba, you want to say something?
Not at the moment, no.
Not at the moment. So anyway, where this thing's going to wind up going is on top of the war wagon, as we called it, or actually a welder friend of mine named it the war wagon. We're going to wind up sticking that thing right here, so when it generates, I'll put it out there, whatever area I'm going to use it, and it will generate the electricity to the power box on the side. Which is kind of where we're at, is getting it rigged up to adapt in here into this. That way we have our solar panels, and we'll be able to adapt right in to run our inverter. And I need to set up a larger battery bank. And hopefully at some point I'll convert some of this to make it better. Need to charge that. So that's kind of what we've been tinkering with at the moment. I mean, there's kind of like 100 projects that need done. If you're looking at the same stuff that the rest of us are, the gist of it's this, and this is why we started doing what we were doing for a while. Before the pandemic hit, we started looking and noticing that there were key things getting ready to happen. The pandemic was coming down. And every storm, every bad weather, every time we have ice on the trees, all that good stuff, everybody and their dog runs the store. We're out of everything. Power goes out. Can't make things work. So we started doing what we could. Deep freezes, And I got one in another house. But it doesn't help when the deep freeze looks like that. I mean, if it's empty, because you can't find it or it ain't available, it's a mess. Pretty soon it's going to be hunting time. Hopefully we'll bag a few deer if we can get her tagged. Good luck with that. God bless us. So we'll see where it goes. I'm not worried about it. World ain't completely collapsed yet. But when it does,
And it's getting there.
and it's getting there, slowly but surely, you got to remember something. No matter how bad it's looking. 1920s, Dust Bowl. People survived the Dust Bowl. Yeah, there was starvation. Yeah, there was bad stuff. But people survived. They made it. They kept on. They trusted in God, trusted in each other, and they worked their way through the problems as they presented themselves. Of course, migration was a big deal, but it made it happen. Then there was the Great Depression. People lost everything. Livelihood, jobs, survivability, but people still made it work. They get together. Right here, I've been running this for a while because I've been looking at it and knew that we had to go back to what Grandma and Grandpa taught us. You had to go back to multi-generational families. You had to use the knowledge of your elders to try to lead you through the bad. And the innovations of the youth to try to overcome some of the problems that are coming up. So without a mixture of both, old and young, it's going to be pretty rough on a lot. And considering that we've been watching the stuff get set up here for a long time. I used to be a truck driver. I personally took supplies down to what was supposed to be detention centers for immigration. Well, I never quite understood why you need a detention center for immigration in the middle of Boise, Idaho, when by law, unless you have a visa, you're not supposed to be more than 50 miles from that border if you're not legal in the United States. Now, I know that's going to be controversial. Okay, I get it. And other people beating the doors on open immigration versus closed immigration. But the truth of the matter is, when you're looking at the situation, you're going, why do we have camps being built? And why is the concertina wire going to the inside, not the out? Well, I'm ex-military. Wherever direction that concertina wire is aiming is what they're trying to protect from. So if it's aimed in, it's a prison. If it's aimed out, it's trying to keep people from coming in. And that's where shit gets stupid. So, anyway, we'll talk to you next time. Hopefully it'll be better.